We live in a culture that prioritizes the pursuit of comfort and the avoidance of friction. We are told that minimizing stress is the ultimate goal. Yet even a perfect-looking life frequently shatters from within under invisible pressure. Building a life around the constant chase for distraction creates a dangerous psychological fragility. Without a deeper purpose to anchor the mind, chronic pleasure-seeking eventually results in a profound, creeping emotional numbness. This diagram illustrates Viktor Frankl's concept of the existential vacuum. It is a state of underlying boredom and emptiness that occurs when daily actions have no why behind them, leaving the individual trapped in a loop that never reaches fulfillment. Relying on comfort functions as a temporary measure. It leaves you exposed and unequipped the moment unavoidable adversity arrives. External pressures, whether they involve a health crisis, a professional failure, or a relationship ending, are an inevitable part of the human experience. This tension gauge shows how stress accumulates over time. In stage 1, you feel the pressure but remain centered. By stage 2, stress clouds your judgment, and you must consciously avoid anger or panic. In stage 3, the pressure spikes past your capacity to cope. This is the breaking point, a systemic collapse where the mind can no longer tolerate the strain. Hitting this wall strips away the modern distractions we use to hide, forcing an immediate and violent confrontation with the existential void we have been ignoring. Reaching the absolute bottom creates a psychological crossroads. One path leads to a permanent state of defeat, while the other offers the opportunity to begin the slow process of rebuilding. Psychiatrist Viktor Frankl developed logotherapy to address this choice. His theories were forged during his years surviving Nazi concentration camps. Prisoners in the camps faced extreme psychological trauma and a systematic effort to strip away humanity. Their names and possessions were replaced with tattooed numbers, a process designed to erase their external identity and break their spirits. Frankl observed that survival in these conditions was rarely tied to physical strength. Instead, it was strictly linked to a prisoner possessing a core purpose or a clear reason to endure the next hour. In moments of extreme crisis, the search for meaning emerges as the most vital human drive, providing the steadiness required to navigate even the most dehumanizing conditions. While oppressive external circumstances are often entirely beyond our control, Frankl argued that a person retains absolute freedom over their internal response to that pain. He called this tragic optimism. It is the psychological ability to actively construct meaning within the confines of unavoidable suffering, rather than waiting for the hardship to end. Shifting your attitude to view suffering as a challenge or a test of character changes your relationship to the pain. This mental shift prevents the experience from causing permanent psychological damage. The choice of attitude in the immediate wake of a collapse determines the eventual outcome, carrying more weight than the event that triggered the breaking point in the first place. Logotherapy provides a practical toolkit for managing modern stress. By identifying unique sources of meaning, we can build a foundation that prevents us from falling back into a state of emptiness. Building mental toughness requires future-oriented thinking. Focusing on what is still possible rather than dwelling on what has been lost provides the necessary pull to move out of despair. Meaning can be generated through two primary pathways. The first involves dedicating yourself to a specific creative task or meaningful work. The second is committing deeply to a relationship or an act of love for another person. A sturdy sense of meaning develops through these deliberate, daily commitments to things outside of oneself, providing more long-term stability than any single moment of inspiration. Setting small, actionable micro-goals serves as a psychological anchor. These goals force the brain to focus on forward momentum, which naturally disrupts the cycle of ruminating on past trauma. Reaching a breaking point forces the disposal of an old identity, clearing the ground to build a more resilient self-image from the wreckage. Replacing the chase for fleeting pleasure with the discipline of daily purpose builds the stability needed to face life's challenges. This is the foundation of a spirit that remains whole under pressure. Resilience comes from taking radical responsibility for our attitudes and our actions. This perspective allows us to navigate adversity and find a path forward, no matter what life throws at us.